So if you think about it, the term microwavable burritos is kind of dumb because I mean you can microwave any burrito. Just like if you get a fully cooked burrito from a restaurant, no one can stop you from throwing it in the microwave. It's a free country. Now, would that be good? No, probably not. But I mean, you could do it. You can even like throw a burrito that still has the really you're growling. You can even throw a burrito that still has the foil on it in the microwave. Like, who's gonna fucking stop you? No one. So that's the bit that I started this video with. How's it going? It's going good. I'm hard at work on a whole bunch of things, and good, you're weak, that's good. And now I'm a grass type, so you can't do that again. This week there was a whole bunch of like discourse online about like the Epstein files and the Epstein stuff, and like that's kind of tangential because like as you see on my schedule in the top right, I'm writing a video on Jeffrey Epstein, and this made me finally sit down and write the start of it. And I was going to rant about it because I have a lot to say. There's been some bad discourse, which I'll talk about in a few months, but actually, I'm not going to talk about the death of a serial child sex trafficker in this part, because instead, I'm going to talk about that movie I saw a few hours ago, the Superman. Yeah, it's just Superman, I'm pretty sure. Just Superman. And hold on, let me pause for a second so I can cough. Yeah, I don't know why I was coughing like that. Let's beat up the Winstraits. Let's beat up this whole entire family because they're weaker than the nearby gym, which means I should take them out now, I have decided. But yeah, Superman. The James Gunn Superman movie was really good. I enjoyed it. I did get kind of set up for failure because people talked about like it was the greatest movie ever. Best Superman movie ever, and it is a good contender for the best Superman movie ever. Either this or the original Christopher Reeves one is the best. But that's mostly because Superman movies are almost always terrible. Superman is not a character with a good track record when it comes to live action films. Like, so being the best Superman movie is a very low bar. But no, I enjoyed it a lot, but I just didn't think it was a masterpiece, like life-changing. I think it's a film that gets better as it goes on. I think the first like 40 minutes of it, like everything before Superman gets thrown in the prison in another dimension, was kind of weak, admittedly. It was just introducing so much. This movie has so many fucking characters and so much going on. It's a movie that doesn't have time to breathe and focuses on way too many different ideas to its detriment. And I wasn't super invested in it for the first parts of the movie. But you know, then we get Superman in this like crazy fucking otherworldly prison trying to escape with Metamorpho, and like this great scene with him and his father, and then this spectacular climax. Like, I started getting fucking teary-eyed. Like, I don't cry. Like, maybe I'm getting more emotional as I get older, but like I was genuinely just because in the fucking climax where I'll talk about how this is a movie about the Israeli-Palestine conflict, but like the climax of this where like there's this war and these kids are like fearing for their lives and they raise a flag with Superman because they trust that he will save him. That's incredible. That's the best moment in the movie. And well, sorry Heath, bye Heath. I was looking for a reason to replace you. I'm not happy about why. I mean, because like I didn't want to. Curlia can't take a physical hit, and Marowak is more important because I got the next gym. So, it's not like I was hoping I would just lose my Nuzleaf there. But, I mean, losing a Nuzleaf in Nuzlocke is kind of expected. Give me the item. Give me the fucking item. And talk about your shitty grandson who I'll kick the shit out of later. Do you have the shitty item? Which of you? Yes, your son's a badass. Your son's a loser. Blah, blah, blah. Why is your dad the weakest? Like, you're like 10. Whatever. What was I? Oh yeah, so just this great scene of like these people need Superman to save him and save them and shit, Superman has to save Metropolis and the entire planet from being destroyed by Lex Luthor because he's opening a fucking rift through dimensions, and Superman's gotta stop that too and can't be two places at once. And just like we see this city being destroyed and people running and terrified, and this building going to fall on this woman and kill her. And yes, it's fucking Superman. Of course it's Superman. He catches it because he's Superman. Honestly, I said this gotta be a year and a half, 2 years at this point. I said this when the second Spider-Verse came out. The secret to make good superhero movie is what does David K have for ability, by the way? Water absorb, that's fine, I guess. How to make good superhero movie: have superhero do crazy feats of strength to save people from dying. That's it, just like Superman holding up a building. And there are good scenes of that throughout the movie, with him trying, and he's such a fucking softie, and he's so nice, like Superman, holding up this building to keep, or holding up this giant kaiju foot to keep a dog from being hurt. And it's just, I love David Cronenstadt. I've never heard, I've just seen it written down. I don't know how it's pronounced. I love him as Superman. He just plays it just so earnestly as this nice guy who's trying to do his best, and he's kind of naive and he makes mistakes, but his primary goal is always protect people and do the right thing. And I mean, yeah, it kind of, I don't actually think that James Gunn and Zack Snyder hate each other. I think that's just a thing that the fucking cultists, and it is a fucking cult that Zack Snyder, have gone in their head. I think they like each other fine, but I do feel like this movie is so much of a refutation of Zack Snyder's vision of Superman as this god who is above humanity, and just all the scenes, his films filled constantly with scenes of Superman not saving people. It's a thing that happens again and again, but this Superman saves people so fucking much. They have so much of Superman saving people and no one fucking dying. And yeah, it's cheesy and unrealistic, but it's fucking Superman. It's a whimsical, mythological character. Superman is allowed to be strong enough to save everyone because he's fucking Superman, I'm gonna lose my ground resistance if they hit me with a single normal type move, which will make this battle actually harder against Watson. And it's just such a movie that is full of light and joy and hope, and just contrasting that with I've said my thoughts on, back when I had a movie podcast, I've said my thoughts on Zack Snyder as a director a lot of time, but wow, I miss this. This is something we were lacking for so long, and it's so amazing to finally see it. I should have deleted Growl so I would have more PowerPoints from moves. Wait. You didn't know bone meringue when I taught it to you. That's weird. But yeah, it is a film that's kind of overstuffed, and it does take a while to get into it. Once it's about halfway through, it becomes really, really good, and I adore this film. But it takes a lot getting in, and I do think it's more of a B than an A+. But it was great. It's better. It's what Superman movies should have been for so long. And it's this, no, Superman is human. He's he doesn't consider himself to be an alien, and he, just the speech he gives to Lex at the end, and yeah, it's on the nose, but it's good, and it's accurate, and it gets Superman as a character, and I loved it. I adored this movie. I did watch it in theater. I watched it in a movie theater and people talk in theaters, and it wasn't too bad, but I did get, just because there is a line, it's a very cheesy, and I actually agree with the person who was who was heckling the movie. So in it, like, Superman's like talking to Lois, and he's like, "I'm into punk rock," and she's like, "No, you aren't. You're only into pop music." Well, and he's like, "Well, maybe being kind is the real punk rock." And just this like 9-year-old kid just shouts out that. What a stupid line. And you know what? Don't shout at movie theaters, but you are right, 8-year-old. That is a dumb line. Like, honestly, this is the discourse that's, sludge bomb, that's interesting. This is a discourse that's been around, like, the sort of conflation, like, punk's just a fucking music genre. It's nothing more. There is some, like, philosophical stuff and, like, political stuff that is often linked to it, but punk rock is a music genre. It's not. There's a lot of political punk music, but I'm of the opinion that it's just a fucking music genre, and it's not. And it's fine for it just to be a music genre. A lot of people will go, that's like, punk rock is good and based, thus anything that's good and based is punk rock. Thus, the pop music that I like is based, and I am like woke and progressive for listening to this generic ass Taylor Swift pop music. And no, listening to Taylor Swift doesn't make you punk, and that's fine, because punk's a fucking music genre. It's not like consuming media isn't activism is a thing that a lot of people get conflated, but I think is dumb. Like, it's okay to listen to music that isn't this one style that occasionally has some political implications. Like, you know what? Thank you for strength. Thank you for strength. I'm just talking in circles. But yeah, it's just, God, that was such a good. And crypto, like, everyone's like, I'm not even a guy who normally likes crypto much. Really? You can't? I don't really like crypto that much. Normally, it's just fine. Crypto was so fucking good. People were nervous. Oh, crypto, it's gonna be dumb and stupid because crypto's in it. And yes, and it's great because they made crypto work. And apparently, the key to making crypto work is that crypto is a currency and it's a scam. No, the key to making crypto, Superman's dog, work is to he's a bad dog. He's such a bad dog, and he's constantly causing trouble. Like, there's a running gag of Superman spends. Mr. Terrific is Superman's sidekick for half the movie, which isn't really. That's a weird pairing, but they do bounce off each other well, and I like I forget his name. The actor who played Mr. Terrific does a good job. But, like, Mr. Terrific and Superman are hanging out in this movie, and, like, just Crypto just constantly smashes those orbs that Mr. Terrific has, or he'll tackle Superman in the middle of something to, like, play with him, and he's like, no, not now, Crypto, I'm busy, go save. Like, that's the opening scene, is Crypto, like, Superman calls him because he's injured, because he got beat up by Ultraman, and he, like, whistles, like, please come help me, Crypto, and Crypto just runs up and starts licking him, and no, I need you to get help, get Bad Dog back. Yes, it's nice that you want to play, but no, and he, like, tears up the fortress. Crypto's just so fun as this bad dog that smashes shit, and that's the fucking climax, because, like, I'm, like, just fucking spoiling. It's, like, when I realized it, it's like, oh, shit, that's so cool, the, like, because in it, Lex has his own evil Superman, Ultraman. I'll talk about him in a minute, and is, like, controlling him remotely with these camera drones, and Superman realizes that and calls Crypto, and Crypto, toy, flying thing I'm not supposed to smash, I'll smash, and Crypto just smashes all of them, and Lex can't control Ultraman, and Superman beats the shit out of him, and chucks him into a black hole, which isn't murder. He slams him into a bus as they're being dragged into a black hole, and the bus, like, drags Ultraman. He's alive. He's fine. I watched Interstellar recently, so I know that surviving black holes is completely... Ultraman is... Ooh, a Totodile. I like that. Ultraman is fine. He's just going to wake up in this library inside the black hole that the time travelers made so that he could be a ghost and haunt his daughter and allow her to complete the stable time loop and save humanity. Yeah, but they have Ultraman in it, and I'm like, okay, so what are they doing with this guy? Are they just using the name for an evil Superman, or are we gonna get comic-y Ultraman? Because in the comics, he's Superman from another universe. And in this one, uh, they eventually reveal, and it's kind of like just kind of like out of nowhere, like, hey Superman, my minion I've had for all of this movie, he's actually an evil clone of you I made. Lex just shouts out when they're fighting, when Ultraman comes unmasked, and it doesn't get really the pomp and circumstances like you would expect, because it gets for something to be treated as like a big deal. By the way, but like, I mean, I knew he'd be an evil Superman because that's who Ultraman is in the comics, and Lex cloned Superman. Of course he did. That's what Lex always does. The Mountains of the Moon. This is on my Wannabes video where early I like check the video to see what this comic was about. In the Wannabes video, I'm discussing this DC Comics character Wannabes, who is this. Well, Wannabes is a complicated character. Go watch the video, but. In his introduction, it describes he's traveled as far as the Mountains of the Moon, and in the video, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. This is his introduction. He hasn't been to the fucking moon, and he never goes to the moon. He has still never been to the Mountains of the Moon. A fiction. Anyway, just a random spiel. 4132 says it's a fictional mountain range that Western cartographers thought existed in Africa at the time when they didn't know much about its interior. They just simply carried over made up things from previous map makers, like the mountains on the moon, also supposed source of the Nile. So it's like a weird old honestly, that's like a really complicated things. Old cartography maps are weird. Oh my. Oh my. Pure power on a Pokemon with a solid attack stat. That is... Oh my. Can you learn strength? No. I don't have any good physical moves to teach you, but... Okay, it's kind of sucky that you're a water stab and don't have any good attack moves at this point, but you are new team member. You are going to get all the good moves because you have pure power. That is good. But yeah, Superman, yeah, it's so good. And it's bloated with characters. Like, Hawkgirl doesn't want to get a chance to do anything, for example, besides murder the Israeli Prime Minister at the end, which, wow, the Justice Gang, like Superman stopping a war was a big thing, but Hawkgirl just, like, she just fucking killed that dude, man. Wow. I can't believe Hawkgirl would do that. But Guy Gardner was so fun. Nathan Fillion is so good at Guy Gardner as a fucking asshole. Metamorpho is a character who was more important to this film than I thought. Like, he was great. I enjoyed him. Biggest laugh the theater got was, like, throughout the movie, Guy Gardner is the only one calling their team the Justice Gang. And at the end, why am I explaining jokes? But at the end, and Hawkgirl's like, hey, we should add this guy to the team. And he's like, and Guy Gardner, because he's an asshole, is like, I don't know if that's the face I want on the Justice Gang. And Metamorpho was like, whoa, you call yourself the Justice Gang? That's so cool. And okay, welcome aboard, pal. What? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, welcome aboard. Okay. I'm just going over things, but I touched on it. So Israel Palestine in Superman. Yeah, that's not a sentence. I did not expect that, and it was surprisingly based. I mean, it's combining, it's like fictional countries. I think they call it Barovia, which appears to be a mix. Like, it's a vaguely Eastern European nation, and it has a Kremlin. So there's a bit of Russia in it. But also, they have, like, a white and blue flag with a star on it, and they're allies with the U.S., where American companies are selling them guns, and they're invading another neighboring, like, majority Arab country. Like, it's like, oh, this is fucking Israel. Hold on, comment from Taz LMO, damn you, trans hit. I didn't pick out more than one commenters because I got mixed up and forgot that you don't go to Flannery next. But yeah, I was surprised that there would be, because like we, for like most of my childhood, we got shit like Iron Man, where it's like fictional, but like the vague terrorists the superheroes are fighting are vaguely like Afghani, you know? They're actually, I do think in Iron Man they are literally Afghani according to the script, but they're not like the Taliban. They're not a real group. They're called the Ten Rings. So like, it's not. Oh, I could actually no. I think I like Psyduck more. It's not surprising for a superhero movie to have like a fictional terrorist group, and I don't, or a fictional country, but I'm just stumbling over my words and not talking, and I'm gonna heal up first, and I think I'll go long this one because I have so much to talk about. But like, it is interesting, and I wonder what this like speaks as like a portend for American politics going forward. That now the stereotypical evil empire is an American-backed country that is invading its neighbors and killing civilians, as opposed to it's the Muslims, or decades before that, it's the communists. Now, it's the American ally that has no regard for human life. Like, that is a change in what in superhero movies is being treated as the stock bad guy. And I mean, this is just a single film. Maybe James Gunn is the only base person working in the superhero industry, and also he was. I like the Suicide Squad was surprisingly based in the. It's like, oh, this is just U.S. interventionalists to prop up a Latin American dictatorship. Oh yeah, these American soldiers aren't good guys. But what was I saying? I'm all fucking stuffy right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm covering things outside. Do I have allergies? I don't know if I have allergies or if I'm just, because I'm always stuffy even when it's like winter. So I don't fucking know. But yeah, that was interesting. That the impetus for the film is Superman stopping pseudo-Israel from invading pseudo-Palestine. And it causes an international incident, and the US government hires Lex Luthor to kill him. And Lex's goal, his evil real... By the way, what a fucking Superman, like the 70s movie with Christopher Reeve. There's Eve Tessmacher as a character, and she was great, better than she was in the 70s, like, where she's like influencer girl who's always taking selfies of stuff and fucking betrays Lex, which is great. And like how she betrays him is she sends the Daily Planet all of her selfies, which she took in front of his evil plans. That's great. And also we had an Otis who was his chief of security, but he was like smart instead of the dumbass. But that's fine too. But like, yeah, Lex Luthor's plan is get rid of Superman so he can do a real estate. Although it does get subverted at the end, where it's like, no, the real estate was bonus. I was flattening Gaza so I could make Trump hotels, but that was only a side benefit of my main goal of murdering Superman because I hate you because you're an immigrant. And like, yeah, I love that it's like, it's not preachy and it's not overt and it's not like actual politics, but it's in the themes of the film, and the things is very clearly trying to say about modern political issues, and it's taking firm stances. It's a movie that says immigrants are part of this country, and they aren't aliens. It's a film that says that war, even wars committed by American allies, are horrible. Yeah, no, can learn. It's like killing civilians is wrong, and like Superman gets involved in this. In politics, and yeah, he's messy and makes mistakes and causes an international incident, but he's fucking Superman. He can't just stand by while those kids are getting fucking killed, you know? He's Superman. It's just so fucking good, and I'm glad that it's woke and the right hates it. Not because the right hates it, like, I don't want to like do politics based on bitterness, but it is funny seeing, like, no, you can't have Superman be an immigrant who fights for the oppressed. Superman being an immigrant is this strange new idea that these woke James Gunns are adding. And it was great. It was a film that got better as it went on and just had so much good stuff that I love. Oh, by the way, like John and Martha Kent, I think this might be the best John and Martha Kent we've gone in live action films. And the reason I say that is because, like, oh, those are real people. Oh, those are, they know, that's what Midwest farmers are like. Like, that, like, just Martha, like, struggling with, like, her phone, and, like, John being, like, a kind of, like, quiet, like, hardworking, like, blue collar guy, and, but being intelligent and having this, like, great pep talk. Like, those are, I know a million people who are identical to those. Those feel like farmers. Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar, the movie I watched yesterday, that's the back half of me ranting about movies in this video. That's not a fucking farmer. I know it's because he's forced to it. He wants to be a pilot. But Matthew McConaughey is not a farmer. John Kent's a fucking farmer. And I know a lot of fucking farmers, you know? But yeah. And Route 113, do I get... I already have you. So I don't want you. Let's pull up another comment, and let's choose a good one this time. Yeah, that Temmie comment is at least interesting. But God, I adored Superman. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. And Adele Caddy, really? If it survives the scratch, I catch it. Damn it. I did, like, I'm waiting for the credits, and the credit scenes were fucking nothing. It was just, like, Superman sitting on the moon with his dog, which is a nice visual, and, like, God, is that Superman red and blue that's taken from? I've seen that image before. It's homaging a specific comic shot. Maybe it's something from All-Star. Maybe it's something multiple people have done. But yeah, I like sitting next to this guy, and he's there with his daughter, and he's like, I did not enjoy that movie. I thought that it was a bit of a mess and all over the place and required too much, that you know Superman lore. And you know what? That's a fair assessment. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the rating, but yeah, those were plots that's all over the place, and there's so much going on, and it's not a film that introduces you to anything. It's like, which honestly, everyone fucking knows who Superman is. He's goddamn Superman. Like, we didn't need a backstory, and if we needed the backstory, we get told it in the film like 20 minutes in when he's talking to Lois, and it introduces things like Crypto and Supergirl by just assuming you would understand, and honestly, you would. Like, and honestly, like, audiences, like Mr. Terrific is probably the most obscure. Like, Guy Gardner specific isn't popular, but people know what Green Lantern is, like, people might not know the specific characters, but they get the vibe from when they're introduced, like, oh, these are other superheroes, and they've kind of got rivalry, kind of got friendship with Superman. But anyway, finishing the story, this guy gives this long list of reasons why it wasn't that great movie, and then his daughter, who's sitting next to him, is just like, I thought Superman was hot. You know what? You go you, girl. And that comment from Temmie, oh, I forgot the K, but Temmie Super Saiyan says, I finished them yesterday about Homestuck epilogues. I liked how they actually made sense in terms of linearity, and I could see why things happen. I don't know, I just like them as their own thing. Epilogues are confusing, but they are linear for the most part, except for the cross-universe stuff. I didn't care much about characters in Homestuck originally, but they were just neat. I don't know. I like Homestuck characters, and that's the biggest hurdle of the epilogues, is that they do some really well-written, interesting stuff with some of these characters, and some of the characters kind of get shafted. I don't even think the character without character was just years later, and so, like, yeah, obviously they're not going to be the same as when they were 16. That's a valid thing. I think that's a realistic thing from writing. I don't know if that's a good thing for writing and telling a story, though, because, like, if a character, yeah, you're going to be a completely different person in 16 years. But then what's even the point of, like, a sequel, like, focusing on these characters? Like, it needs to be more gradual, and there are some points in the epilogues where it's just too big of a jump. Too much of these characters have changed too quickly. Still really like the epilogues, though. But yeah, Superman was great, and I've just been eating well on movies, because last night first off, I was covering this fair, the county fair, and was like this big fucking stormy day and like tornado warning, and I'm like, I'm like 20 minutes from home. Although I live in a second story apartment, so I don't know how good that's in a storm. Like, I can't easily get out of here because I don't want to drive through a fucking tornado. So I'm just looking around the fairgrounds, like, ugh, where do I go if there is a storm? Because this building is flimsy. There was a concrete one, and nothing happened. It was just heavy rain. Heavy fucking rain on those, like, metal roofs, though. Just, like, completely deafening everything during the baby contest I had to photo. Because that's what I do for a living, is I photograph baby contests. I photograph other things. I had to cover 2 car shows today because 2 towns in my jurisdiction's not the right word, but you know what I mean, I decided to do their car shows on the same day, so I had to take a lot of photos of cars today before I watched Superman. But anyway, after I got home, like, I had just been on my feet all day, and like rain, I got metal screws in my knee because I was in a car accident when I was in high school, and just, if I gave a choice band to my crocodile, would that be overkill? I want to do it. That'd be funny. But anyway, because like my knee hurt, like I couldn't even like sit on the couch to like write that night, so I just turned on my TV and was like, what is on Amazon Prime to watch using this account that I do not pay for, that because I am stealing my very Christian mother's account, all of the recommendations are for like the story of Jesus and like shit like that. But like, ooh, Interstellar. I had a college roommate who thought it was the greatest movie ever, and I watched. My heart skipped a beat. You almost killed my new prize that I love. Like, why would you do that? You're going in bench, boy, because you are too precious to lose. I don't really care enough to get those. What is the like infinite use of curing sleep flip? I guess I don't want. But anyway, I watched Interstellar, and Interstellar was just a great fucking movie. I adored Interstellar. It was better than Superman, but it's just such a good, well-made movie. It's a movie that made me cry, and I don't fucking cry, and it's just excellent movie. I love hard sci-fi. I love like that and The Martian and Apollo 13, where it's like there are these horrible, insurmountable problems that we need to be clever to fix, because that's what realistic space travel is like, you know? And it was a great movie. Matthew McConaughey actually acted good in it. And like, just like, I mean, I knew a lot of the plot already because it's been like memed and stuff. Like, I'd seen the like, no, crying in the library scene because, you know, it's a famous scene, but it was still a good scene that I enjoyed. And I don't like leaving you in, but I don't have a good Switch. And I can only use, that's bad. Oh wait, you're normal type, you're fine. But it was just an excellent movie that I adored. I fucking cried. It was just so excellent. Like, just the, oh no, I've lost the entire childhood of my children trying to save them. And it is nice that it is kind of funny. Like, that's a movie about this man's deep love of his daughter, this relationship that transcends space-time and saves the world because he just loves her so much. And also his son exists. He has a son, and does he love his son? Sure, probably, in an abstract sense. Give me the dig TM or whatever it is in this. Oh, you have to show a fossil first. I forgot about that. He tolerates his son. Yeah, but Interstellar's so fucking good, Like that, like I knew about the "those aren't waves, they're mountains" scene because it's like so famous. But what a fucking scene! And I'd heard like in my music soundtracks for years the "No Time for Caution." Didn't know why it's called "No Time for Caution," but seeing this is the "No Time for Caution," "No Time for Caution's" playing, and they say there's no time for caution as just the fucking spinning the ship as it flies to match the spin of the spaceship to land on it and save it. It's just such a good, and like then dive into fucking like the boys. Movies are really good and I enjoy them is the point of this episode.